Hi, Chloe. So, I see that you commented that your grandpa wants you to embalm him and cremate him. Well, let me tell you about that. Today is the day that in 2012, I embalmed my own grandfather. His name, I called him Pawpaw. And me and him did everything together. All growing up, I was always by his side. My family owned a Western Sizzling Steakhouse, and we had a trucking company. So I was always involved in family business. We were always there together, day in, day out. He lived a quarter-mile out the road from me, him and my nanny. My nanny died right before I graduated high school. So back then I wasn't an undertaker. But in 2009, 2010, that's when I got into the funeral industry. And Pawpaw and I had talked about it. He had congestive heart failure, and we knew the time was getting close. So we'd already had like a few false alarms beforehand. He wasn't able to walk because he had Parkinson's and many strokes. And so if he was to walk, he had to hold on to his belt. But he was a man that would never stop. And like him, I never stop. I'm always going. I'm always doing something. And one day he and I were sitting around and we were talking. And he said, "Nicholas, you sure you want to embalm me?" And I said, "Pawpaw, as pretty as you like to look, nobody can fix you up like I'm gonna fix you up." I said, "I know everything about you. I know how your lips look when you sleep. I know how your eyes look when they're closed. I know how you like to comb your hair. And I know how, because at this point I'd been giving him baths when I'd go home, because he was having to stay at a nursing home, and he didn't really get as clean there as he would like. So even though they did a great job, it just wasn't the way I would do. And so that's what I did for him. When I'd take him home, took care of him. And the last thing that I could do for him on this day in 2012 was take care of him. So that's what I did. I took care of Pawpaw one final time. Do I have regrets about it? No. And if you're in the funeral industry and you get to take care of one of your loved ones, it's one of the hardest things that you'll ever do. But it can also be one of the most rewarding things that you can ever do. Because in this industry, you learn about death. You learn about life. And Pawpaw lived a life. Pawpaw did a lot of things. He loved to have a good time. He worked hard. He played hard. And that's what he did. He had a great life. And I was able to take care of him one last time. And I was able to give him the send-off that he deserved. And it just so happened to coincide with one of his favorite times of the year. So, if you get a chance to take care of your grandpa, do it. You'll have no regrets. It'll be one of the warmest, touching moments you'll ever have in your life. And you get a chance to say goodbye. A chance to say goodbye on your own terms, just like I did. And you'll be right there. But, on a side note, I used a funeral home that my cousin owned. And just be nice to the guys that make removals. They sent an older gentleman, and Pawpaw would have not liked how slow he drove or how he wheeled the cart. So I just took over, because that's what an undertaker does. They take over in one of the hardest times of your life so that they can get you through the process. Because it's not every day that we experience death and dying, but an undertaker does. And so, If you get that chance, take it and take care of your loved ones and live a life worth living, because that's what Pawpaw would have done.